Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Stacy Turner with our DMOpro Zoom. So glad you're joining us. Hope you had a great weekend. Today, we're talking about being intentional on Thanksgiving week. So I know it's not next week, but I wanted to give you guys some tips that I've learned through the years. So I've been with Juice Plus for 20 years now. In November, I was introduced to Juice Plus, and then we started taking it probably in December, and then I actually joined in January because I was stubborn and I wanted to do it my own way. Sharon and I laugh about that now, but so thankful I was introduced in November. So a lot of this starts with our mindset. If we think we're too, people are too busy, then we'll be hesitant to start a conversation with them. If we think, well, we'll just wait until January for New Year's resolutions, we're really going to miss the boat because the people are already starting to think what they're going to do for New Year's resolutions, even though nobody sticks with those, but they're starting to think about healthy habits and what needs to go and what frustrations they have. And so we really want to be a forefront in their mind, right? Like when they're starting to think, what am I going to do? I want them to come back to conversations I've had or posts that they have seen of mine. And you want to be the resource that jumps out to them first or that they come back to, because if you don't, somebody else selling something else on Facebook will catch their eye. Even the vitamins at Walmart or that, dang Balance of Nature commercials on Fox News. Although I like those because they are starting a lot of conversations for me, because someone will say, oh, is that like that Balance of Nature? And I'm like, close, but not really that close. Let me tell you the difference. So I like that they're kind of being the commercial for us. They're waking up people to what it is. So I'm not so mad about that one. But some things to do to be intentional, not just thinking long-term, like we want to be in their mind for New Year's resolutions and that sort of thing, but also like I want to enjoy Thanksgiving week, right? Like you're with your family and your friends. I don't want to be thinking about work or, trying to get caught up on something. I mean, maybe for some, if you're working full time and you get a couple of days off for Thanksgiving, you're like, okay, I can get some work done. But I really think even an hour of intentionality at the beginning of the week or ahead of time can make a big difference. An hour or two of like strategic activity. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is what activity can we do ahead of time that's going to build in more family time for us, that's going to, get it out of our head and onto paper. So we're not stressing or thinking about that, but also that's going to set up some really great conversations in the next 2 months. Really, it's all through December and January. I have found business-wise, if we look at February, is usually a bigger month than January. I don't know if those of you that have been with Juice Plus for a while have noticed that, which is kind of interesting because you would think most people are going to be buying in January, but sometimes it's like they still just need some time. What are they for sure going to do? And then they order February. And maybe it's because I'm more intentional in January about activity, right? So if we back that up and get intentional now, I think we can see an even bigger difference. So that was some of the information I was thinking about, is just being intentional. So let's start with new conversations. So new conversations, you're going to be around people, family, friends that you may not be around on a daily basis or a yearly basis, right? We're not even talking daily, we're talking yearly basis that we're able to connect with and have a conversation. I tell my team this, and Cindy will laugh, but I'll say, if you don't want people to think you're weird, then don't be weird, right? So like, if you don't want your family to think you're the annoying Juice Plus person, then how about let's not be the annoying Juice Plus person? So every conversation doesn't have to be taken back to fruits and vegetables. Every conversation doesn't have to be taken back to Juice Plus. But we can still be intentional about that. But if you're at the table and somebody says, oh, I love cranberry sauce, here's what not to do. You don't say, did you know we have cranberries in our Juice Plus capsules? Right? Like nobody cares that there's cranberries in those Juice Plus capsules. But when you're talking to them and you hear the need, You hear the frustration. They're talking health goals. They're talking their kids have been sick. They're talking, they're not sure what they're going to be doing. You're hearing sniffles and sneezes and coughs. Listen for that need, even for money struggles, right? So maybe somebody's not necessarily talking to you about their health, but they're going to be talking about, it's been really rough this year. So, my husband's business went down, whatever that is. Listen for the need. Last week, we talked about asking those really good questions. Dig deep. Stay quiet, ask another question, go deeper, really lean in, be interested in what they're saying, and gather information that they're sharing with you. And then that's when you can say, I have something I think you might be interested in. I know we've talked about this before. You've seen me with this on Facebook, whatever the conversation is, right? But bring it in appropriately to where it's just casual conversation and not Juice Plus inserted in every little opportunity that you might see there, right? So really be intentional about listening, and you're going to be planting a lot of seeds. So it's okay to plant seeds now and expect the harvest later, but sometimes we plant the seed and expect the harvest right. We want that sprouted, and we want to see the the result of that conversation right away. You've got to have the long game in mind with this. And so just be patient with that conversation, let it develop, let the education develop, but be ready to ask. Don't assume, oh, Christmas is coming up, they're not going to want to order anything, they're saving their money. People spend a lot of money in December. Have you guys noticed that? Like a lot of money, like we spend money. So people are used to spending money. You could say, if someone's like, well, I'm not sure about that in my budget. Well, tell your kids that's what you want for Christmas. Everyone's like, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And if you have something, they're like, oh, good, I'll get you that for Christmas. That would be good. You could have a couple of kids pitch in and pay for 1 month for their parents to have Juice Plus, or for a grandparent to have Juice Plus, or a college student. I guess theirs would be free, but you could just think about that. Tower gardens, excellent gift. I've had people buy gifts for our tower garden for family gifts. So when you're like, Aunt Cindy is a gardener, and you're like, what, hey kids, Cindy's kids, have you guys thought of purchasing a tower garden or gifting her with a tower garden? She's mentioned that she likes it and she would like one. If you guys are thinking what should we get mom for Christmas, I think that this would be something she really likes. So having those conversations, being intentional about that, right? And the other thing about posting on Facebook, do you guys ever do the 12-day cranberry detox? Have you guys participated in that one? That's an easy way to, and I can send you guys the boards link. If you're on Campbell Team Boards, it's on there, but there's a boards link with a bunch of information about 12-day cranberry detox. You can do it as a group if you want to. A lot of times those that are interested, we put them into our Facebook group. It's a way to just kind of start conversations. It's something we've done year after year after year, so people kind of expect it. Me personally, I don't care if they actually go through the whole 12 days. I don't even go through the whole 12 days, guys, like, be honest, right? But it is about starting conversations. It's about seeing who's interested, who's got some health goals that they're willing to say, hey, I'll do this. Some of them go through the whole thing, and that's probably the team member you're going to want to, because they follow through with what they say, right? So it can lead to some great connections, and just adding into your Facebook group. That way it builds your network of people that you're talking to, and the number of people you have to plant more seeds and to start the Juice Plus conversations with. So it can be really good. Shred 10 can do the same thing, being intentional about posting about the Shred 10. So if you think you're too busy, you're going to find things to fill your schedule. You'll put things in there that are going to distract you and keep you from doing your Juice Plus activity. So if you just have a mindset of, time is a little bit more relaxed this time of year in some ways, and then other ways it speeds up, but people are looking to go to parties. They're used to, be the party that people invite to. One year we did a neighborhood Christmas tea is what I called it. And I just invited all the ladies in the neighborhood to come over. We made a simple craft. We had like sort of like a tea party, and it was after I had decorated the house. It was a lot of fun, and it's been a long time since I've done that. I'm in a new neighborhood, so that's one of the ones I want to do. Christmas parties with your team, some sort of connection. Do it before it gets super busy, but people are looking for things like that. They're expecting to go to parties. So why not be your party that they go to? And then be sure to post about the fun of that. So let's take it back to like really intentional activity of Thanksgiving week. Before Thanksgiving week starts, though, I would say we should be working on the second half of our list from our office of customers that are shipping this month, right? So I've already contacted the first half, and so now the second half of that list needs to be contacted to let them know, hey, their box is shipping. I don't want to be sitting enjoying Thanksgiving meal and somebody's name pops in my head of, oh no, their order's shipping tomorrow. I need to let them know. Are they ready for that? Now's the time to do that ahead of time, so our mind is clear. We're not thinking about that side of it, right? So that's one thing. We talked about having new conversations, creating interest on social media. How about following up with anyone that you've shared with so far? I've got a couple of people that said, hey, can I have your link? But I've not seen their order come through. So what are they getting stuck on? I can offer to call and just get their order for them. Anyone you spoke with last month, again, that's where our DMO planner comes in. Everything should be written down. Those names are written down in there, so they're not in our head. They're not on a sticky note. It's really easy to flip back through. We did a tower garden event at a local nursery, and guys, I planned all the event, and I was inviting all the team and making sure everyone had everything. And then I realized I didn't invite anyone. It was it was the morning of. I was like, I haven't even invited anyone. We had 3 events that planned that day. Took a real quick, I flipped through my DMO planner, and I was looking for anyone. I had written a TG for a tower garden in there, and so I just wrote their names down. There were about 9 of them. I sent them a message real quick letting them know, hey, we're going to be doing this event. Most of them were out of town. They couldn't have even come anyway, but it's okay. It was at least another conversation. I was able to go back, send them some pictures. It was a great time. Next time you'll have to join us, and just to continue the conversation. So don't beat yourself up and say, oh, well, it's too late. I can't invite them. I didn't do it. I didn't do it exactly perfect. I didn't do it on time. Just do it. Do it imperfect, but take the time. It's going to work better if we do it ahead of time, right? But if perfection is stopping us, perfectionism leads to procrastination, that leads to paralysis. And if you get stuck in that paralysis for very long, you're just going to see your business decline, because there is no perfect way to do it. You just have to do it. So following up with those people, customer care, again, thinking about who's shipping, making sure we're talking to them, letting them know their boxes are going to be shipping all the way through December 1st or 2nd is what I work on this part of the month. I've got some customers from last month. I want to make sure that I've really given them some good customer care. I looked through here, saw her name, and realized I haven't even called her. Other than, hey, did you get your order? We talked about that, but now they've been on it a couple weeks. Now is a great time to go back and visit and start developing that experience that she's had so far. What changes has she seen? And then you can do a Thanksgiving message of gratitude to your team. I always love getting those from my sponsors and those that are sharing, that I've been a part of on their team. So write that down. You can write it out ahead of time. If you have Project Broadcast, you can use Project Broadcast to put messages in ahead of time and schedule those. So again, it comes on Thanksgiving Day without you having to spend time Thanksgiving Day texting out to 100 people. That's just not going to happen. But in a second, I can send it out to 230 people or whatever the number is of your team. And here's my last one, and then I want to hear from you guys. Really working on personal growth. If you're traveling is the best time to listen to audiobooks and even like with our family, if we were driving, we could listen to something. Jim Rohn is one of the best. And even my kids liked it. My son, as he started thinking more about building his business, he was like, Mom, have you heard of this guy named Jim Rohn? And I was like, oh my gosh, of course I have. He's great, And he's like, no, he's awesome. And he was like, listen to this one. And then I would say, ooh, listen to this one. And so we were sharing those back and forth as an 8, he was 17 at that time. It was just cool because he had heard that when he was little. They had heard, messages from him. And so I'll put a link in here in our Voxer chat that has one of my favorites just to listen to have in the background. And it's just good to have positive words spoken to you, and business mindset positivity as well. So if you guys have never listened to him, I highly suggest it. And it's just a great way to be driving down the road and listening to something other than just music. And then really just enjoy your family, do the things ahead of time so it's out of your mind. Enjoy playing games with them, having real genuine conversations, just connecting. It is a different time of year that's it's just different. It's like, think of like cozy family together, and really just be the positive that everyone's missing. There's a lot of negativity right now. I can get sucked into those conversations super easy. I've got lots of opinions, and this is what's going to fix that, and this one, and I'm mad about that. But I'm going to have to be intentional about keeping it positive. And you just want to be the one that people radiate towards, because you're a good listener and you can have a deeper conversation with you than maybe something surface with anyone else. So those are some of my tips. Does anyone have anything to add to it? Have I missed something? Have you found something through the years that's been helpful to you? I'm pretty sure everyone's muted, so unmute yourself if you'd like to share.
Stacy, what great ideas. I'm so glad I hesitated getting on this morning, and I'm so glad I did. So thank you for this incredible gift. I'm going to send out gratitude cards to all of my customers. So I'm printed off my list, and I'm going to get busy with that while I'm traveling and, just writing addresses in the airport or whatever. So I'm going to do that. And I'm going to put a little gift into each card and tell them I'm grateful for them and that kind of thing.
Yes, I love that. One of the gifts that I give customers once a year is a $5 gift card to Starbucks. You can buy them on Amazon and they're $5. I can't find them in the store, like at Walmart or something, but if you buy them on Amazon, they're $5, which doesn't even buy a cup of coffee, which is crazy. That one, I get the biggest response, and it doesn't add weight to the letter or the card. So you can just stick that in there with them. Is that what you're going to be adding to yours, Lee?
Actually, that had been my plan, a $5 Starbucks card, because, Starbucks are everywhere. But I ended up going to Promo Plus last night, and I bought the little lens cleaners, and they're $3. And they'll also go into a card without adding weight. I was going to send samples of the smoothie mix, but that gets really expensive. So, and then as I was in my cart, I was trying to buy like 100 of them, and so someone else was doing the same thing. So somebody else and I bought all the lens cleaners, but they also have these little bottle grip things, and they're $2, so they're cheaper. But I use mine all the time. And then I did this a couple of years ago, and I said, thank you for getting a grip on your health and being my customer, which I must say, I thought that was pretty clever. Yeah. So I see, Susie, it looks like you like that idea too. But if you're going to do it, once this idea is out, it's going to go fast. So that's what happened last year. I couldn't get enough. So I'm doing a combination of grip, because they ran out of the little lens things, and then I'll fill in with Starbucks cards.
I was able to help out a friend who was having a pampered chef party, and I ordered some of just the little paring knives, and they come several, I think it's 3 in an order. And so I don't have that many people, so I was able to order those. So as just a gift I don't have that many people. So I was going to send a paring knife to help them chop and prepare for their Christmas or Thanksgiving stuff. And I haven't checked the weight yet, but then again, it's not that many people for me. So I think I can suck up the cost, but I was able to help somebody else in their business by helping myself. So that was fun.
Yes, that's a great idea. Thank you. Anyone else?
Yeah, Stacy, can you hear me?
We can hear you. Yep.
Okay, I'm just so grateful for this call. I mean, it's just a blessing to all of us, truly. I'm sitting at the car place because I have a flat tire. So, but what I usually do is I put in little bags. I put something in little bags, and I have maybe 25 of them at my front door. And anytime somebody comes to my front door, I said, here, I just want to bless you because you're working. Thank you for working. Not very many people are working these days, right?
Mm.
And the other thing too I've done is I go get rosemary trees. They're like $5 at Target. And for my customers that are nearby, I'll drop them at their front door with a card. And they love that because they can use that in their potatoes and in their turkeys and stuff like that. And it's a pretty nice thing. And if you do it at Thanksgiving instead of Christmas, that doesn't get lost, right? Or New Year's Eve or something. And so that's why I try to focus to do it around the time that everybody else is doing it. So, but thank you so much. This call is very valuable to so many of us.
Oh, you're very welcome. So a rosemary tree, is that like a plant even like at Walmart then?
Yeah, it's kind of a live tree, and they make them small too, even smaller than that. So I just put a bunch of them. In fact, I've given them to my team at times, and they look like a Christmas tree, and they're in a little red pot, and I'm sure some of you guys have seen them when you're walking through.
They're really cute. And I love that what Alita said about doing it early so it doesn't get lost. I think you get more bang for your buck. And you can also, for people that are maybe not of the Christian faith, you can also just tie in Thanksgiving more. So I think, and if you're going to miss it, then I like doing New Year's, like just wait until all the craziness is over and then do New Year's. So that's, I think, helpful. So timing, I think, is important with this.
Well, and also those of us who have tower gardens, putting a bag of fresh basil or something with a card attached, even if they're not customers, putting them in your neighborhood, they'll get their attention because that's a nice, sweet thing to do, is to spread your produce around the neighborhood.
Alita, tell us what's in your little bags that you give out to, like, are you saying like a UPS worker or something like that, delivery guy?
Anybody, my yard guy, the pool guy, anybody, and it's besides the bonus I give them. It's just something that, in fact, I had somebody work on my stove, and I said, I bet you didn't eat enough fruits and vegetables today. And I gave him some chewables, and he ended up ordering. He said, these are good. I really like these. And I said, well, everybody needs to up level their health. And I just thought, you're doing this for me. Let me do something for you. And so, you'd be surprised how many people you run into on an everyday basis. It's much more important to get out of the house, right? But yet there's a lot of people that kind of walk around the house and, and take care of things. I just had my trees done. The guy's up on the top of the tree. I mean, come on. I make my people shakes all the time. I make them, do you want me to make you a shake? They're all, please do. Yes. So, they're doing that for us. And many of them do not add gas tax on their bills anymore. Housekeepers, yard guys, they haven't added yard tax. And so, that's the least thing I can do. Yeah, I see Vicky's wanting to add something.
So what did you say you put in the bags then that you keep at the front door?
Oh, I have put different things in, sometimes I'll go to the dollar store and you'd be surprised at cute little dishes or different things that are less than $1 that you can put in a bag. And you can go on Amazon and get some of those meshy bags, or even if you're more inclined, if you live in the forest or something, you can get some, they're those bags that are kind of like gunny sack, but they're small. And you could put stuff in there. I put in the eyeglass cleaners. I put in the grip things. I put in cards, gift cards. I put in there. I always put the chewables in there in a shake mix. And I also put something that can fit in there that's our promotional item. And then a card of mine or some kind of a thing that it might be a good attention getter.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sometimes hi Stacy.
Hi, Ben.
I like to cook a lot not a lot, but I do over the holidays. And one of the things I do before Thanksgiving, because everything gets kind of, like I think Alita said, everything just gets kind of convoluted after Thanksgiving. I make a really good, like kind of pretty healthy cranberry relish. So it's just like cranberry and walnuts and orange, and it's super simple. And I make that and give little jars with it to friends and neighbors, because there's kind of like the whole concept of healthy and yummy and actually just staying connected. So
That's awesome. You'll have to give us the recipe now. Anyone else?
Hey, Stacy. So we did a project broadcast as a team. We created a project broadcast called Staying Healthy Through the Holidays. So it's a couple of posts a week going all the way until January. So we included, how to navigate the holidays, how, Juice Plus can help, given a little bit more information about our research and stuff. But we also were like, how to handle the sugar cravings during the holidays. And then we have some events right after the holidays for like a dream board workshop and the shred coming up. So those are already planned in there as well. So that's something that we're doing. And then we also did a cranberry salsa workshop last year, and then talked about, the power of the berries, and then everybody went home with a little jar of salsa. So I like the idea of giving customers, something. I don't live close to my customers right now, but I like the idea of giving, something real and tangible. I had a real estate agent for a year. Every holiday, there was something on my front porch, like a pumpkin, or for Easter, there was something. And I ended up selling my house, and she was the first person that came to my mind. And I think sometimes just those little things, those little touches. I mean, I love the idea of the eye cleaner or the little grippers, just something to, give a tangible thank you to our customers. And it also puts us in the forefront of their mind. Maybe they will be thinking of, somebody that they want to share Juice Plus with, especially as the referral program gets launched later in the year. So those are some of my ideas.
That's an excellent idea. And they had cups. I don't know if they have them now. They're plastic cups that say Juice Plus, and they were red and purple and orange. That's another one you could, put just some goodies into it and take it to your customers that are local. So that's another idea. And I did want to let you guys know, probably some of you remember from a couple years ago, my girls make these stamped token bracelets with people's one word on them. And they're going to be rolling those out. I'll send out an email. There'll be sort of like a dropped email to you guys for Black Friday, and they're on sale. They're a great gift for your team. So you can do the same word for your whole team, or if you want to collect the words from your team and they have a specific one word. So it goes with that one word worksheet that's in our DMO planners. And then also, so be looking for that email, and I'll put a link in here into our Voxer chat as well. But they're just they're a token bracelet, and they will last, like, you can wear the bracelet all year round if you want to, but it's adjustable. You can take them off, and they hand stamp those. They've been doing that for a couple of years now. Make great gifts, and just an easy thing to incorporate into team. A lot of times, a team, I wouldn't print, Juice Plus and give that as a gift to someone. Nobody's going to wear that for your customers' bracelets, but if it's intentional for them, they're one word. Also, there are some printables on our website, thedmoplanner.com. There's a print page at the top. I added 2 different pages in there for you guys to print. They're the bingo sheets. So one is the colors of the original and one is the colors of the adventure planner. But you can go in and print those off if you're wanting to do something with your team outside of the action game that's built into the planner. You can always do that bingo game. I had a hard time getting our team involved in doing stuff right now. There just wasn't much of an interest. So I'm hoping maybe come January, they'll be more interested in doing something like that. So that's a good idea, Lita. I can put those into the boards for that, the demo planner board that you guys have already. But I hope you guys found this helpful. I will attach the documents. You can have, notes for what we talked about. I encourage you to take the notes, take the information you guys learned today, and then make a message for your team, a Voxer message. It's one thing to hear the information yourself, but when you teach it to somebody else, it just takes it to a whole different level. And it's a great way for you to lead your team by example, of gather information and then apply it, right? And then you guys can talk about it as a team, what you're learning. So I have another Zoom to be on. I know you guys have things going on as well. Thank you so much for joining us. And we can continue this conversation if we've got questions in our Voxer chat, but I sure appreciate all of you being on here today.